It is quite obvious that throughout our economy struggle, jobs are becoming scarce, and even the jobs that are available have pay that is sometimes not enough to help us make ends meet. Throughout high school, our teachers would preach that the key to avoid this situation was to attend college and earn a degree. But sadly, some of the highest paying jobs today do not require college degrees, and some of the jobs that require college degrees aren't being paid nearly as much as the jobs that do not require college degrees. One of the best examples of this is educators themselves. The majority of teachers are not being paid what they feel they deserve, and if this isn't possible enough, their jobs come with many stresses, the worst of them being the implemented standardized testing. In some districts, the results from the standardized testing could not make or break a teacher. Some schools offer bonuses to reward teachers for good scores, while other schools fire teachers that don't have scores that are up to par. Because of this, teachers want to secure the fact that their kids pass the test. The teachers simply teach their students what is required for the test instead of expanding their horizons and preparing them for further schooling. In Texas, the TAKS test only tests over the minimal skills possible. Therefore, the children that learn at a faster pace and are capable of learning at a higher level are retained from all the extra knowledge they are capable of learning. Because teachers are simply teaching the minimum curriculum as seen on the test, teachers do not ever feel like their students are well prepared from the previous grade, and it is a vicious cycle. Not only that, but standardized testing is setting children up for failure when it comes to college. The entry tests for college, such as the ACT and the SAT, are timed, unlike the TAKS test given to the students. Also, standardized testing questions are only testing minimal knowledge, whereas the college entry test requires you to implement knowledge. Every couple of years, the state finds that there are flaws in their tests, and they tend to perfect it by making adjustments. In Texas alone, they have changed the testing 6 times since standardized testing has been implemented. The test has changed from TEAMS to TABS to TAAS to TAKS to end of course testing to the STAR. This creates a lack of stability for not only the students but for the teachers as well. Kids are never able to adapt to the style of a test, and for many students this creates what is known as test anxiety. Test anxiety can create lower test scores and lower passing rates, which, as I explained earlier, can affect a teacher and possibly her job. This also puts teachers in a bad position because the test is always changing, teachers always having to find new ways to teach. They are never able to perfect their teachings or find a most effective way for their children to learn in order to assure their passing of this test. The stress that standardized testing is bearing upon teachers may result in them losing all their teachers. As I mentioned earlier, the pay is not worth the work that the teachers put in and the stress that the job entails. This requires many teachers to leave and get jobs in other fields that require less hours and more money, such as engineering and the oil fields. If the teachers are leaving the education field, only their students will fail. Less people are going to be willing to teach knowing the stress that are coming with the job. Schools will have fewer teachers that are willing to care and work with the children. As much as teachers preach that going to college is the best way to secure a job in our society, standardized testing is setting students up for failure. When children in Texas take the TAKS test, they all have to take their test. This is not a realistic test when it comes to college. It slows children down and makes it harder to adapt to time testing college and when taking the entrance exam for college. The TAKS test requires a 2-page narrative with lots of fluff. It is also a horrible way to prepare students for college writing. Being thrown into English 1301 and being required to write a 30-page research paper was more challenging than it should have been. My teacher simply taught to the test, which meant repeatedly writing 2-page narratives. And it made the length requirement difficult as well as the structure and style of my writing. In high school, I was considered an excellent writer. Little did I know, I had only mastered one style of writing, the only style I was taught. Essays, writing assignments, research papers, and portfolios are a major part of a student's grade in college, not only in English but in all classes, yet because of standardized testing, the teachers are simply only teaching one type of writing, which is simply setting high school kids for failure in college writing. Standardized testing has taken an extreme toll on the education field. It is preventing kids from meeting their full potentials as well as creating a great amount of stress on its teachers. The education field will end up losing some of the best teachers from the stress they are burdening them with. It doesn't help that the state continues to alter their tests, which creates a lack of stability for its teachers and its students. Although I am aware of the reasons the state of Texas insists on continuing with standardized testing, I think that we should consider eliminating it completely. I believe there are other less stressful ways to administer the teaching in schools. All kids have different learning levels and abilities, and not all kids should be held to the same standards. With the factor of test anxiety, you cannot determine how much a student truly knows with the administering of one test. Students should be given a fair chance to pass this test with less at stake and more relaxed environment.